Hello, little Timmies. And today, the Portland Trailblazers just traded CJ Mccollum to the New Orleans Pelicans for Josh Hart. That's really all. So I'll talk about the full trade here. So the Portland Trailblazers traded CJ McCollum, Larry Nance Jr., and Tony Snell to the New Orleans Pelicans for Josh Hart, Tomas Satoransky, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, D.D. Lauzada, I don't know who the heck that is, a 2022 protected first-round pick, and 2 second-round picks. So, let's talk about this for both teams. For the Pelicans, I think that this is a really good trade for them. They had to give up Josh Hart, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who is a young guy for them, but they're getting CJ McCollum in return, and New Orleans is a small market, so they needed to take advantage of the trades that they get. CJ McCollum, he's averaging 20.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists, shooting 40% from the field, 38% from 3. And that's a really good contributor. And now the New Orleans Pelicans, in my video where I talked about teams that could be a surprise, they were the reason that I had them at an honorable mention. It's because I was saying they could trade for CJ McCollum, and they just did. So if Zion comes back, they could do good. If he doesn't come back, then that will suck. And then Nickeil Alexander-Walker, he's averaging 13 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists, which I think it's pretty good. But I do think the Blazers trade, when they traded Norman Powell and Robert Covington, was worse than this one. But I don't think this one is that much better, if I'm being quite honest, because it's revolved around Josh Hart and Nickeil Alexander-Walker for CJ McCollum. And Josh Hart, he's averaging 13.5 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists, which is pretty good. He plays solid defense, but I just don't think that it's honestly worth it for CJ. But they were saying that they were going to build a team around Dame, and they were going to use the assets that they got from the Clippers and the Pelicans. And those assets combined, I don't think are going to be as valuable as just Norman Powell, if I'm being quite honest. Including all the picks, all that stuff, I don't think it'll be as valuable as Norman Powell. And they gave up CJ and Robert Covington. I think I'm guessing that the Portland Trailblazers looked at all their options with CJ, and they were like, oh, this one's the best one. But they had a chance to trade for Ben Simmons. It would have just been CJ McCollum plus some picks. And looking at that trade now that all they traded for was Josh Hart and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, that trade would have been 500 times better than this one. But for the Pelicans, it's good. Trailblazers, I don't know. Damian Lillard, if he doesn't leave after this, I'll be shocked. If I was him in this situation, no matter how loyal he says he is, I'm demanding a trade. Because if they just traded my second best player for Josh Hart, then I'm demanding a trade. Like, that's just that. I get CJ McCollum was on a bad contract, but that's just not a good trade. And even if they want to go try to get a superstar now because they have a lot of money, they could try signing one in free agency, but I don't see why anyone would want to go to Portland. And they don't have any assets to make a trade now because they traded all their assets. Like, other than Damian Lillard, they basically have nothing now. I guess you could say Anthony Simons, just because they're trying to build around Dame now. But I thought Anthony Simons was a good young player, but if they're trying to make a trade now, I could see them trying to trade him, I guess. But, yeah, I do think that this was an alright trade. I don't think it was as bad as the Norman Powell one. The Norman Powell one was just horrendous. Basically, all they got back from that was Keon Johnson, who's just an alright rookie. because Eric Bledsoe's gone next year. So their assets are just some picks: Keon Johnson, Josh Hart, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I guess you could try to make a package around Anthony Simons, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Keon Johnson, and some picks. I guess that's the best package that they have. Maybe even throw in Yusuf Nurkic, because they still have Yusuf Nurkic. But I don't see how that's going to get you anyone that's like really good, because the star that the team's trying to give up right now currently is Ben Simmons. The Philadelphia 76ers are trying to trade him. And they said they want an all-star level player, and that would have been CJ McCollum. But I don't think Yusuf Nurkic, Keon Johnson, I don't think the Sixers would want that package. But, yeah. Tell me in the comments below how you feel about this trade. If the audio was a little bit different, that is because I just moved everything around in my room, and I'm just going to play around with the audio and stuff. But, yeah. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'm going to be posting another video sometime right about 2, 3, right around there, because there was another trade, but I won't bring up what that trade is because then it might spoil the video. But yeah, bye.